Doom, 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 doom. The ghetto. Doom, 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 doom. The ghetto. Doom, 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 doom. Hey, what's going on, people? I have no idea why I started singing that song. But who doesn't like that? All right, who doesn't like that song? That's an epic, 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 epic hip hop song. One of the greatest groups of all time. Throw that red and black in there if you guys enjoy that particular song. This is your boy, Man Mike, coming at you guys with yet another episode of Straight Heat. You already know what time it is. Get ready for a great, great show. I got something for you. Yeah, as you probably see by the title, you probably saying to yourself, Mike is already on some bull crap. Okay, Mike is already on some bull crap. And this, I think, you guys are gonna feel this one. All right, you guys definitely gonna feel this. I think it's something that a lot of people probably been thinking themselves about as far as the NFL, the state of the NFL, the state of the players. Around the league, not just with the Atlanta Falcons. At some point, there could probably be something, we need to keep an eye on because we're going back to our roots. We got Zach Robinson here, offensive coordinator, former quarterback himself, and offensive coordinator for Sean McVay and the Los Angeles Rams. I wanted to say the St. Louis Rams, but you already know what that's like, fellas. But like I said, you gotta. Can you just leave that right there?
Sure.
Can you as soon as I start, you start doing stuff and that, you do it all the time. Man, look, I'm doing something. Thank you, sir.
You want to talk to me no any kind of damn way, cocksucker. You can't just pick that shit
All right,
up.
bye. All right, yeah. Can you shut the door? Thank you, sir. I come outside to get away from you.
Say thank you, sir.
I came outside to get away from you, and you follow me outside. Thank you, thank you. What's going on, people? Yeah. Again, you guys have not already hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell your friend to come chat Falcons football, NFL football with your boy. All right, yeah. So Mike Senior decided he wanted to come out and interrupt me in the middle of talking. I got all these kids here, and then Mike Senior decides he wants to come out here and tell me something in the middle of me doing something. I think that's just incredibly rude, y'all. But again, man, this is something that we're definitely going to need for ourselves, to keep an eye on for ourselves as Falcons fans, as NFL fans, because this is a growing issue, and I think this is a major issue that we really need to keep an eye on, because I'm already seeing a problem, and I'm gonna be real. I'm going to be real right now. I think players, especially players with lineage, these players, they got they have a sense of entitlement. My daddy is Marvin Harrison Sr., and because my dad is Marvin Harrison Sr., I deserve to be quote unquote respected. I deserve the best deals. I deserve to, not withhold the previous agreements with said company, and if I don't want to, I don't have to. So I believe there's a growing issue in the NFL as it pertains to these players, in particular these wide receivers. Okay, and I'm gonna take a little trip down memory lane because um I look, I'm gonna just be real. Yeah, he called me a cocksucker. So y'all, you see how my parents do me? Like my parents do, my dad do me wrong. They do me so wrong, and then they wonder why I'm so mean and I'm so. It's because it's just so wrong. Um, yeah, Mad Mike Senior called Mad Mike Junior a cocksucker, y'all. Ain't that something? Like that is so rude. What's going on, y'all? Cake? What's going on, Sonya? John to Floyd, everybody in the chat. Yeah, my dad just called me a cocksucker, y'all. That's just so wrong. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. All right, so I think there's a growing issue. Juice, what's good? There's a growing concern in the NFL, in my opinion, man, that it's like I don't like the fact that like players have so much power. I don't think players should have this much power because, in my opinion, and like I said, this is just another way to look at things. This is another way to look at things because when you look at, other players, because we like to take in consideration that, owners, these guys are billionaires and they can buy and do whatever they want. And for the most part, a lot of them have done exactly that. They've done whatever they want, when they want, how they want, all that. And quite frankly, to be honest, I like to put myself in that position. Myself, I like to put myself in an Arthur Blank shoes, a Jerry Jones, certain guys. I like to put myself in their shoes. And then I have to say to myself, it's like, if I own a franchise, would I be upset with a guy, a player, coach, front office personnel, if I did everything right by the book? These guys have the best of the best. If they guys have the best of the best, would I be upset if these guys just decided they want to? Yeah, you know what? I don't like what's going on right now. I'm just gonna hold out. I'm a hold out. I've been paid, a great deal of money. I'm one of the best players on team. And for the most part, you've been taken well care of. Like, you've been taken care of. So I like to put myself in these owners' shoes and say, if I've done everything the right way to show that my players, that I love them, I have respect for them, and I want these guys to be compensated and treated fairly. Because let's be real, a lot of players, in past, they haven't been treated, the best way. And then you have guys, teams like, the Dallas Cowboys that went out of their way. John was good. Georgia Texas boy was good. A lot of these teams are going out of their way to, use them for their talents. And then once they have been used, these guys haven't been compensated, after retirement and whatnot. So we've had quite a few owners that go out of their way and they do this. All right. So it does, I understand from a player standpoint, Anthony, from a player standpoint, why you would want to get everything that you want and all you want and everything that you need as far as your compensation is concerned with the NFL and being in the NFL. Julio Jones, in my opinion, is without a doubt one of the greatest wide receivers to ever lace them up. All right. I think we can compare this guy to a Terrell Owens, Jerry Rice. You put these guys, Larry Fitzgerald, Calvin Johnson, all these guys, Randy Moss, all these guys of some of the most, electrifying and most physically gifted players and wide receivers that we've ever seen. And to be honest, it's my humble opinion that Julio Jones is the most talented wide receiver to ever lace them up. I don't think it is close. I'm not going to disrespect, all the previous greats, the Jerry Rices and all those guys. These guys are, they're definitely the greatest to ever lace them up. But in my opinion, and that could be me being biased, but I personally believe that I've just never seen a guy Julio's stature, and you look at his ability. This dude runs about he runs about a 4.3. All right. He ran about a 4.3, 220 30 pounds coming out of the University of Alabama. The things that he can do, route running coming out of his breaks. The dude, I've seen him run through defensive linemen, crack back. I mean, put defensive linemen on their back. I've seen him run through linebackers like they weren't even there. I've seen him just shove off multiple defensive backs and just make them look like kids. So, again, no disrespect to T.O., no disrespect to, Calvin Johnson, Randy Moss, and all those guys. But Julio Jones is just a fucking freak of nature. All right? The dude is just an absolute freak of nature. Just nothing out. There's nothing like Julio Jones. This dude is a fucking, he was just that damn dude. And I think for the most part, like I said, just being in Atlanta, Roddy White, and this is no shade at a guy like Roddy White, man. Roddy White was a hell of a wide receiver himself. Guys like Terrence Matthews, a hell of a wide receiver. These guys are talented in their own right. But Julio Jones, just the things that this dude could do, what he was able to do with the Atlanta Falcons. The dude is just absolutely nice. So I'm saying all of this to say this. These guys have every reason to get every dollar that they can get. I'm always for everybody getting as much as you can. But I'm also in favor of team. I'm in favor of guys going out. I'm in favor. I want to see the teams have everything that they need to have in order to be successful. Now, when you have a Julio Jones, what's good? We have a Julio Jones that, when he get older, and a lot of wide receivers and a lot of players, not just wide receivers, but a lot of these wide receivers, they get older, they feel like, my career is coming to an end, and I have to get what I have to get. And these guys do not care about the second string guy or the third string guy or perhaps the fourth. Arthur Blank, he screwed his teammates because he did not want to wait his turn. Julio Jones went on live TV and said that I want to negotiate my contract. He didn't wait his opportunity. He didn't wait his time. He didn't care about whether or not a young wide receiver, a young player needed to get their money. Julio Jones said, screw everybody else. I want my money. He didn't care. And we're seeing way too much of this stuff right now. We're seeing way too much of this stuff right now. Well, players, they just don't care. They don't care about the fullback that may need $1 million out of their contract and say, you know what? I like Patrick DeMarco. I love Patrick DeMarco. I want Patrick DeMarco to be an Atlanta Falcon for the next couple of years so we can potentially try to get to a Super Bowl or get back to a Super Bowl. I want to give a guy like Mohamed Sanu an extra $2 million to keep him on the team because the Falcons don't have money to go around to give everybody, or the third string wide receiver, or the third string running back that may be a vital part of special teams or just a vital part of the team in itself. These are the things that you have to keep in mind when we talking about these wide receivers and why a lot of these wide receivers, in my opinion, are ruining the game. These guys are ruining the game because they only focus on themselves. They don't give a damn about whether or not they're the third defensive lineman or the Falcons need a defensive lineman. They don't care about the Falcons needing a pass rusher. They don't care about the Falcons may need another cornerback that they need a extra $2 to $3 million so they can bring in one of the top defensive backs in the league. They don't care about none of that. All of these guys care about is I need to get my money. So when you have owners and when you have these owners say things about like, look, we just don't have the money, it's because they're trying to build the team the proper way. It's more to this team than Julio Jones. It's more to the team than a Jesse Bates, just to say. It's more to the team than a AJ Terrell. We have defensive linemen that we're trying to bring in to help, bolster the defensive line, and the pass rush. We may need an extra linebacker because a guy may be dealing with injuries. But if we got Julio Jones and the Justin Jeffersons of the world crying and bitching and moaning about how I want to be paid, $20, $30 million a year, we can't get that. And then the fans looking at guys like Terry Fontenot and say, Terry Fontenot, why can't you give us what we need? Why can't you give us what we need? Why can't you bring in another, how you doing, Christy? And why can't you give us another defensive lineman? Why can't we have another Johnny Abraham? Why can't we have these guys? It's because you're paying these wide receivers $20, $30 million. And the reason why I say it's a problem, we have a fucking problem. We got guys like Brandon Aiyuk who had one good year. He becomes an all-pro one time, and then all of a sudden he thinks he's fucking Julio Jones. Bitch, you ain't never been Julio Jones. You never gonna be Julio. Bitch, you will never be Steve Smith. You will never be Terrell Owens. You will never be any of these guys. But you out here, you out here doing and pitching a fucking hissy fit for what? Who the fuck are you, Brandon Aiyuk, to sit up here and say that you demand that you want to be paid one of the biggest contracts in NFL history? Who the fuck are you? You're Brandon Aiyuk. You've had one good fucking year where you went to a fucking Pro Bowl, and all of a sudden I'm supposed to give you $30 million because you had one good fucking year. Are you fucking this is the shit we talking about when we talk about these wide receivers and these players. It's really a lot of these wide receivers. I'm seeing wide receivers act more of a diva than these fucking quarterbacks are. You would think that a quarterback will be in their feelings. No, it's these whiny crybaby ass wide receivers, the diva ass crybabies that want to sit up here and I want to hold out. You disrespected I had 1,200 yards and 10 touchdowns. You had that shit for 1 year, maybe 2 years. And now you're trying to force the 49ers to give you $30 million. Look at you. I can replace a Brandon Aiyuk. You're not irreplaceable. You're not Julio Jones. You're not Calvin Johnson. We got all these diva crybaby ass wide receivers demanding $30 million. Who the fuck are you to be demanding $30 million, Brandon Aiyuk? Are you freaking kidding me? And this is a question that I have for people in the chat. Why in the hell would I pay Brandon Aiyuk $30 million for a team that runs the ball most of the time? Majority of the time, these guys do what? Run the damn ball. We know what Kyle Shanahan offense is all about. It's the offensive line, it's the running backs, and it's play action. This is the first time in quite some time that they've had a quarterback that has been consistent and let's be real, we don't know why Brandon, if look, this is another thing why it's ignorant for Brandon Aiyuk to be coming out here and saying that I need $30 million. It's because, bro, if it wasn't for that running game, I can say with a straight face that Brock Purdy would not beat Brock Purdy if it wasn't for that running game. I can sit here with a straight face and say Brandon Aiyuk benefited from guys like Christian McCaffrey, all those guys up front in the offensive line, and the design of his offense, the Kyle Shanahan offense. You would not be the player that you are. And and you're pitching a fucking hissy fit to tell me that you deserve $30 million. Why should the 49ers pay you $30 million? Why should you be regarded as one of the best wide receivers in the league when you clearly aren't the best receiver in the league? Those types of players stifle the team's development as a whole. And that's very true. If I'm constantly, as a general manager, as a head coach, as a owner, if I'm constantly always worried about guys like Julio Jones being unhappy because some other wide receiver got paid, so I gotta make sure that Julio Jones is happy, guess what? We're not gonna bring in that third corner that we need. We're not going to be able to bring in that second corner that we need. Hell, we may not even be able to bring in another defensive tackle or an edge guy because our edge guys getting older. Or perhaps like the Rams, where you have an Aaron Donald on the side, I've had a career. I'm retiring. And then the same thing in the same boat. You got a wide receiver crying because he's not getting his money. Players get paid a lot, especially quarterbacks and wide receivers. The Patriots the only team that doesn't fall for the hype. I mean, the Patriots, you look at the Patriots, the Steelers, these guys have had a history of success. They have a history of success. They've had a history of success because they do things their way and they go about things. They go about things about the player development. Sorry about that. I'm reading you guys' comments, but they go about things the proper way. They develop their players. They have a scheme and they have a system, and they stand by that. Michael Walker was good. CMC is going to make $11 million this year, so agree. And like I said, yeah, he's going to make $11 million, but his pay is starting to go down. In order to keep good players have to understand that this is a team game. In order to win championships, great players got to understand that their salary, they're going to have to play ball. If you really want to win, if you really about team, if you really about what you say you are, then you're going to have to play ball. And Tyler, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with your eyes, but to say that Brandon Aiyuk is Julio Jones, that's one of the most disgusting and ignorant statements I have ever seen in my life. If you think Brandon Aiyuk for any ounce or any second is anything like Julio Jones, dude, you are sadly mistaken. That's one of the most ignorant statements I've ever read. To say Brandon Aiyuk is Julio Jones is disrespectful to the game of football. It's not even just disrespectful to Julio Jones, but it's disrespectful to the game of football. Because for the reasons I just stated, if it wasn't for that running game with the 49ers, can we really sit here and say that Brandon Aiyuk is the reason for one of the major reasons or the reason why that San Francisco 49ers offense run so well? Ask that question. Oh. No, Brandon Aiyuk is Julio Jones. All right, yeah, I got you. Sorry about that. But Brandon Aiyuk is Julio Jones. And this is why I'm saying that. I'm gonna bring everything together. But when you look at Brandon Aiyuk, these are the things that I'm saying. These guys are all are alike, and these guys are the same type of player is because of one thing. They only care about themselves. They only focus on themselves. These guys only care about themselves. Brandon Aiyuk, egotistical moron to even mention. I would be looking for the first team, the first freaking team. This is something that I would, if I was Kyle Shanahan in that offense, I'd be looking for the first wide receiver to the first team to trade for Brandon Aiyuk. And quite frankly, Brandon Aiyuk is not going to receive the money that he think he's going to. He's going to get paid. And he's going to get some guaranteed money. I honestly believe he'll get some guaranteed money. But it's gonna come with a penalty. Dude, you're not Julio Jones. We're talking about skill set. But a lot of these wide receivers have the same mentality. They're in the same mentality right now. Guys like Justin Jefferson, another wide receiver. You know, granted that he is upset that the Falcons end up getting Kirk Cousins, and I understand why he's upset. But to be demanding money where you're supposed to get over 100, and I think the number with Justin Jefferson is somewhere, he wants to get paid anywhere from $25 million a year and up. CeeDee Lamb is another one of those guys who wants to get paid $25 million and up. We talk about CeeDee, little bitty ass Lamb. We talking about Justin Jefferson, Granted that he is one of the better wide receivers in the league, do I really want to pay Justin Jefferson $25 million a year? That's a real question. So you asking for you asking that you want to get a contract similar to what I don't know how the hell you say that. Amon-Ra St. James, whatever the hell his name is. Like you want to get a contract similar to him? For what? If you look at that offense with Detroit, he's the center of attention. So I respect his contract, his ability, and his skill set more than I trust you. Again, if you take CMC off of that team, if you take George Kittle off that team, if you take guys like Deebo Samuel off of that team, are we even thinking about are we really talking about Brandon Aiyuk? Let's keep this 100. You're demanding $30 million. You said you want a contract similar to what the St. James had, and you're not even the second best player on your damn team. I can see why a AJ Brown wants to hold out, because obviously if you look at that team with him, he's one of the better players on that team. He's one of the better players on that team. If you're not the second best player on the team, don't be talking about me about no damn $30 million. He said, I'm glad we got Julio Jones over AJ Green. Like I said, Julio's just a freak of nature, man. I like Aiyuk a lot, but to me, he's a wide receiver 2 at best. He's a good B-level receiver. And that's why I said, it's like, and we had this conversation on the heavy hitters, players got to understand their worth. They got to understand their skill set. And just because you believe it in your head that you one of the best players in the league, or you one of the best players on your team, doesn't mean schematically that team needs you. I'm going to say this with a straight face, and I honestly believe that Kyle Shanahan don't need Brandon Aiyuk. He don't need him. I've seen Kyle Shanahan turn some okay wide receivers to above average wide receivers. I've seen it done. So if I'm Kyle Shanahan, I'm the 49ers, I already know that Kyle Shanahan he can turn another wide receiver into a respectable wide receiver. They can draft a guy. They can sign a guy on free agency. I think they have another guy I think they just signed what his name is. They actually just signed a wide receiver. I forget his name. Starts with a J, but they really just signed him to a 2-year contract, if I'm not mistaken. So they already have guys there that can step in and do what you do. And you asking them, you're demanding, I'm not gonna show up until I get $30 million, bro. And the reason why I say we have a problem, also, this is not just Julio Jones. I'm seeing this shit already with these young ass wide receivers who have yet to play a freaking down. Now, I love Marvin Harrison Jr., Senior, excuse me. But Junior acting like a spoiled, entitled brat, and he's yet to play a fucking game. This dude has not played a down in the freaking league, and you are crying. You trying to tell me what you're not gonna do? He's already has issues about him not playing at their game and all this type of stuff. This dude had already been in controversy, and he hasn't even played a down in the NFL. Marvin Harrison Jr. has not played a down in the NFL, and we are already talking about getting sued from organizations because he's not holding on. Allegedly, he's not holding up his end of the bargain. He's already getting sued. He's already walking around and pacing around like he's that dude. Hasn't caught one freaking pass in the NFL. These wide receivers have gotten out of freaking control. They got Terry Owens on. Yeah. You got Jeberaeel on. He's in the NFL. A lot of these guys. So my thing is, man, I respect a guy's hustle, but at the end of the day, and I think this is where a lot of players have to be honest with themselves. Bro, you're not as good as you think you are. Brandon Aiyuk, guys like Justin Jefferson. And the reason why I say I'm not giving Justin Jefferson that money himself. Why? Because I don't know what he's going to look like without Kirk Cousins. Will he be the same player? I don't know. That's a question mark. Now, I think he's definitely one of the best wide receivers, if not the best wide receiver in the game. But there's still a question mark in whether or not he can get it done without Kirk Cousins. There's a question mark on whether or not guys like even Nico Collins, who just signed a 3-year, $72 million contract himself. There's a question mark on whether or not he the real deal. Now, he definitely earned his money. Nico Collins and those guys, they had one good year and everybody getting paid. This is exactly how teams end up falling short, and they end up going in depth, just like the Saints right now, just like the Falcons did. We tried to pay everybody and their grandmama. Because all these wide receivers and diva and these skill position players, they start whining and crying about, oh, I want my money. I'm holding out. I deserve this and I deserve that. The end of the day, bro, like, look, somebody got to go. One of these players have to go, and they're going to be gone. I'm not paying no Brandon Aiyuk no fucking $30 million. I'm not paying him $20 million a year. Especially when I got a CMC, and especially I got an offensive coordinator as a Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan has done enough in this league, and I've seen what he's done offensively to garner respect. I don't respect no damn Brandon Aiyuk. I've seen what he did with George Kittle. I've seen what he did with Deebo Samuel. Why am I giving Brandon Aiyuk that money? And these are the questions we have to take in consideration when we're looking at these general managers. The Falcons made the wrong decision by giving Julio Jones that money. It was not the right thing to do. Football-wise, it was not the right thing to do. Why? Because we had a young stud and Calvin Ridley waiting in the background. Julio Jones pissed a fit because he knew that if he didn't get his money, the Falcons was going to give that money to Calvin Ridley. And that's the truth of the matter. Julio got jealous of your boy Calvin Ridley. And the crazy part about it, and the crazy thing about it, about this situation with Julio Jones, is that Roddy White didn't pull the same move on him. Roddy White helped Julio. He took him under his wing. Roddy White didn't cry and bitch and moan and say, the Falcons are not giving me my money. I'm going to hold out. Roddy White knew what was coming. He knew that his days were numbered as a Falcon. But he stayed a teammate. He stayed a professional. He stayed a pro. And he made the right decision to groom a young stud in Julio Jones. And Julio Jones did not reciprocate that for Calvin Ridley. He was selfish, he focused on himself, and he didn't care about the damn team. So when I see the Atlanta Falcons say that they're going to bring in guys that's going to do the right thing by the organization, instead of focusing on, this guy may be an elite talent. Yeah, he may be an elite talent. But is he going to buy into what the Atlanta Falcons are doing as a team? Are we going to buy into the team? That's the thing. I don't want to draft a guy and then after 4 years, he going to try to hold out or try to hold the team hostage because he wants the biggest contract in NFL history. Fuck that. We seeing this way too much with these damn wide receivers. We seeing this shit way too much with these diva-ass wide receivers. These guys, they get their money, and then they want to hold out because they believe that they better than what they are. Dre, what's going on? I mean, if that's what I don't know what you mean by that, Dre. What do you mean by you making it seem like he doesn't love football? It was just the easiest way to make his first millions because of the resources at his bedside. What do you mean by that? Expand on that. I don't know what you mean by that. If we're being honest, we make jokes about Ritter, but the truth is he wasn't to be wide receiver one yet. He was fine, still learning under him, but Julio left. But like I said, it was a lot of things. I think this team would have been a lot closer to the playoffs had we kept Julio Jones on this roster, had we kept Matt Ryan on this roster. Maybe we would not have all of the the players and that, we end up signing because of the money, but I think we would have been closer to winning if we would have had those guys, because having a young older Julio Jones with a young stud and Kyle Pitts, man, that would have been nasty. And then you throw maybe the Falcons would have eventually had to move on from Calvin Ridley because you couldn't keep Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley together. So the Falcons end up, trading Calvin Ridley out. But to have a Julio Jones with the Kyle Pitts, man, that would have been nasty. But Julio Jones was only looking out for himself. He only cared about himself. Julio Jones looked out for himself and they end up. Millie Real, what's good? Jay Nasty. He said it's always like that with receivers. And like I said, receivers are always looking out for themselves, man. Not all of the receivers are the same, but guys like Brandon Aiyuk, Julio Jones, these guys, they're essentially the same. They only focus on themselves. They only trying to get that first paycheck. And when they get that paycheck, are you still going to play with that same fire and passion? That's the thing. I don't know if Justin Jefferson is going to be the same wide receiver without Kirk Cousins. So as an organization, first I need to see what the chemistry with with their quarterback is going to be before I even think about trying to extend you and making you the highest paid wide receiver in the league. No, you're going to wait, bro. I need to see what you're going. I'm not going to give you your money for previous, and this is how teams get themselves, and this is how the Falcons got themselves into trouble. We tried giving Julio Jones all his money, Devontae Freeman, all these guys, all their money for what they did in previous years. And then we didn't take into account, well, maybe these guys without this person is not the same guy. And Devontae Freeman ended up not being the same guy without Kyle Shanahan. And now you don't put yourself in a situation where Devontae Freeman, Julio Jones, and all these guys are not the same. They're not the same player without Kyle Shanahan calling plays. We end up giving guys like Robert Alford, Desmond Trufant. We gave all these guys all this money based on things that they did prior. That's how teams get themselves in financial bind, because they overreact, they don't really think things through, and you pay guys because of what they did in previous years. Yeah, that's that. Again, these are what these wide receivers. This is not something that I'm making up. Falcon extraordinary. It said Julio Jefferson is seeking anywhere for $35 million, which is the same for wide receiver. Man, you have got look. That bitch would be on the first plane out of my. I don't give a fuck if my offense struggles. Bitch, please. You think I'm finna give you $35 million? You have the audacity. You have the fucking audacity to come at me and say you want $35 million a year? Please. Who the hell are you as a wide receiver out here running routes? You got offensive linemen that need to block for you to get the ball. We need the quarterback to be upright and the quarterback to be accurate to get you the ball, and you up here demanding $35 million because you rely on you rely on two positions to get you the ball, but you up here demanding money like you that bitch. Get the fuck out of here. You rely on two major positions to do their job in order for you to be good, and you up here demanding $35 million. You have got to be kidding me. Okay, you read about Marvin Harrison. All right, gotcha, Dre. And that's what I believe too, Dre. I believe that same thing. He's riding the coattails and the success of his dad so he can get paid. I honestly, like I said, I don't think he loved the game that way. I don't think he loved the game the way his dad does. You up here getting all the NIL deals before you even get into it, and which isn't a problem. But you already in trouble. You already like you're not showing up to certain things. You're not doing what every other player is doing because you feel like I'm Marvin Harrison Sr.'s son, so I can do things what I can do. I hate to say it, but it's exactly what a lot of these guys are doing right now. I'm seeing the same thing with Bronny James. Like Kwame Brown said it on his live show. This dude is rolling and he's doing the right thing, but he's not going out of his way to make a name for himself. He's riding the coattails of his dad. Now it's up to you, like me personally, that's up to you. You do what you want to do. You feel like what's best for you. But at the end of the day, do you really love the game the way you love? I don't remember Kobe Bryant going out of his way to, just use his dad's connections in basketball. Because his dad played basketball himself. I don't remember Kobe Bryant going out of his way to use his dad's connections to make sure that he got paid and he got this and he got that. But we got guys like this, man. I'm LeBron James. I'm his son. I'm Marvin Harrison's son. You walk around, you don't show up to certain things. You don't show up to interviews because you don't want to. You telling everybody else what you gonna do. You haven't played one fucking down in the NFL, but you got all this off the field issues. But I'm supposed to believe that. Oh, you mean Tyreek Hill, Millie Mills? Let me know you mean that. Everybody, it's always going to be teams that's going to play these wide receivers because wide receivers, like I said, it's a premium position. But I like to be honest, if you have a good passing coordinator, a good offensive coordinator, and a good quarterback, man, you don't need to be playing all these wide receivers $25 million and up. You got to be out your damn mind. You can win in the NFL just running the damn ball. You don't have to throw the ball as much as people. I mean, the Titans have shown you, the Ravens have shown you that if you just focus on building the defense and running the ball effectively, you can win championships. Or you can win a lot of games. And here this dick sucking ass Chucks in here talking about y'all just hating. Man, get your punk ass out of here. Get out of here with that punk ass shit. This is about a conversation. I don't give a fuck about what somebody trying to do. At the end of the day, do you care about what the third stringer is? The third string wide receiver who's busting his ass trying to block, busting his ass trying to become they're trying to run these street routes so a guy like Brandon Aiyuk can get open. Do we care about those guys? Do we care about a Levine Toilolo or the third string tight end that's busting his ass in those trenches, getting destroyed and getting all these offensive linemen, defensive linemen diving at your knees? Do y'all give a fuck about them? But you want to tell me that we kissing, we're hating on the motherfucker because he won $35 million? What about the left guard in the league that's in the fucking trenches with these big ass knee pads because these 300-pound guy like Grady Jarrett falling on his knees? These linebackers that's in the trenches, they busting their heads wide open. Why? Do y'all give a fuck about them and them trying to get paid? No, you just say, all right, we can get another linebacker. We can get another clown show to run into a wall. But we got these prissy ass wide receivers who just want to run fucking routes and then say, give me my $35 million, but a motherfucker that's actually, getting in the trenches and busting his ass and having concussions and damn near having his knee shattered. I don't see you motherfuckers talking about that. I don't see you motherfuckers praising Caleb McGarry for busting his ass in the running game and helping the Atlanta Falcons have one of the better running games. No, y'all don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Y'all don't give a fuck about the punter being one of the better punters and getting the defense and getting the team the best field position. You don't give a fuck about the kicker being able to make the big kicks in key moments. Are we capping for these fucking kickers? Are we capping for punt returners? Are we capping for these centers? No. You bitches up here complaining about, I like Julio Jones. This guy, he deserves $35 million. He catches 1,800 yards. What about the motherfucker that, again, what about the players like the Patrick DeMarco who is busting his ass, blocking and running through 300-pound guys, down after down after down after down? No, you motherfuckers don't care nothing about that. Nobody gives a shit about the guy that's busting his ass. Nobody gives a fuck about the lone snapper for the Atlanta Falcons. Nobody gives a shit about those guys that's really in the trenches, stopping the run. We got guys like David Onyemata, Grady Jarrett. These guys saying double, triple team. They don't even get the sacks, but they get their ass handed to them by the big offensive linemen that's trying to off them every fucking play. But y'all don't care nothing about that. Y'all care about these prissy ass wide receivers. You care about these prissy ass quarterbacks that run for 1,000 yards a fucking year, but you won't give no love and no respect to the guys that's really in these trenches doing everything. No, you don't give a shit about that. Pat King, how you doing, sir? He says the Tampa Bay Bucks are going to win the division. First of all, y'all got a lot of questions. Is that defense the same? No. Is their offensive line the same? No. Is their running game improving? No. Do you know if Baker Mayfield is going to repeat what he did last year? No, we don't know for sure. Now, I believe that he will, but there's a lot of question marks with Tampa Bay. Now, if you can get Baker to repeat what he did, you'll definitely be 1-2 in my opinion. Because I don't think the Panthers are going to be good, as good as people think. I think the Saints is going to be as good as what people think. But I think it's going to be the Falcons and the Bucks that's going to be 1-2 when it comes down to everybody stay healthy, everything. If both teams stay healthy for the most part, it'll be the Bucks and the Falcons in my opinion. 1-2. And Yellow said Chiefs 3-peat. Man, look, everybody in Chief land getting arrested. So I hope they even make it to the damn season. All right, with players, because everybody getting fucking arrested over there. What's going on, Mr. Robinson? Still is here. What's good, man? Y'all, look, man, I need you to come back here and let all the Atlanta Falcons fans know what Arthur Smith and how y'all feel about Arthur Smith. I really want to know during the course of the season. So hit that subscribe button here so y'all can tell me what's going on in Steelers land and how the fans really feel about Arthur Smith. Because we know ESPN and the media is not going to give us an accurate depiction on how you guys feel. So hit that subscribe button and y'all tell me, even the Bucs fans, tell me how you guys feel about your team. All right, because we like to hear everybody's opinion. See, Chuck is a retard. He said, what did they got to do with players not getting paid? Motherfucker, if the big guys are getting paid 30 and 35 and 40 million dollars a year, guess who gonna get cut. Anybody want to take a wild guess? Anybody want to take a wild guess if what happens if when guys get major contracts, when guys get 30, 40, 50 million dollars a year, what happens? What typically happens? Who's the ones that end up getting what usually happens when guys end up when you got a quarterback, for instance, what happened with the quarterback, I mean, not in quarterback position, but when Joe Burrow got his money, what happened to the wide receiving corps with Cincinnati? What happened? Because I'm talking about Ed, and Eddie up here with Chuck. All right, he can't comprehend things. This Ed, and Eddie. So you guys explain to Chuck what happens when you give guys 40, 50 million dollars and you start giving wide receivers 20, 25 million, 30, 35 million. What typically happens when you give guys that money? What typically happens? Yeah, Jude says you do a show on different positions. But yeah, like I said, man, y'all gotta hit that subscribe button. And Jude, he does a breakdown on all positions and all the players and all that type of stuff. But make sure you hit the heavy hitters and Jude Talk Sports, because we're gonna do a breakdown on all of that. All right. So if you guys did not see the heavy hitters last night, and that's the channel where we talk about NFL in its entirety. But you talk sports, he does a great job of breaking down players and their strengths and weaknesses. About whatever said, you lose running back, defense, and in some cases offensive linemen with on your teams, and like I said, you use some very good players. That's what happened with the Atlanta Falcons. Anybody remember Foye Oluokun? We couldn't afford to keep him, so we had to let him walk. We couldn't even trade him away because we didn't have money, because we gave the money to Julio Jones and we had to re-sign Grady Jarrett. This is what happens when you pay the quarterback and you play these skill positions, especially wide receivers. So Chuck, that's what happens. You only have X amount of dollars to pay everybody. So when guys get a bigger piece of the pie, a larger piece of the pie, guys who play well, they end up having to either walk away or get cut. So, sir, that's what happens, okay? So stop being emotional and use your brain, okay? Use your brain. This is why jobs don't like to give everybody pay increases. So when you end up doing a good job, or you start getting up, you ask for more hours and stuff, guess what? Say, nah, I ain't got no hours for you. We're going to have to give you a day off. Or in other cases, when you're not using your time, guess what? If you're not using your time, they're going to take it away. It's going to expire and you not get paid for that. So they force you to use those hours. And that's the same thing with organizations. The most valuable players on the team end up getting paid more money. That means the little guys, the small guys are going to get laid off. This has always been the case. So, like I said before, man, this is how the NFL is. This is how the NFL is. And we have a major problem. We got all these wide receivers and skill players, and especially the wide receivers, man. These wide receivers are just way too emotional. These wide receivers, they are too selfish. They only focus on themselves. And in my opinion, what's going to happen in the near future, we're going to start seeing a lot of organization. These guys are going to draft them, and they're going to trade them, and they're going to let them walk. Because these contracts are getting out of hand. You're not going to see 4 to 5 year deals with these wide receivers anymore. A lot of these wide receivers are going to see 2 to 3 year deals, and they're going to be gone after a couple years. So the longevity and security, job security, is going to be affected. But who's going to be affected the most by this change are the guys like Cordero Patterson. These guys are going to be going from team to team, year after year, because we got the Justin Jeffersons of the world. They don't want to play ball, and they want more and more and more money. And it's going to force a lot of guys to, guess what? Like I said, it's going to force a lot of guys to look, they're going to have to take a pay cut. A lot of these guys are going to have to take these lesser deals. Like, you know your value, but at the end of the day, because Justin Jefferson wants $35 million a year, that second, third, fourth string wide receiver, guess what he's going to have to do? The market value may be $10 million for him, but being that Justin Jefferson getting $30 million a year, he going to have to take $5 million because Justin Jefferson taking all the money. So he going to have to take $5 million. He going to have to take a deal where you're going to see stuff like this. You're going to see deals with the role players. You're going to start seeing those guys taking a 3-year deal for like $15 million or a 4-year deal for like $15-20 million a year. Why? Because it's going to give them more job security, and it's going to allow them to essentially, save money. Because at the end of the day, you still got to pay taxes. You still got to have a place to live. And that costs money. So this is why I'm not down for a lot of these paying these big time receivers $25-30 million a year, because this is what's going to happen. A lot of our role players that we love and admire, these guys are going to be gone after a year. These role players that we love, yeah, we got a Bucs fan in here talking about 28-3 when they literally have the worst record in the history of the game. In the history of the game, these guys lost what? 20, I believe it was 27 games in a row. Y'all can say all y'all want to about 28-3 losing the Super Bowl, but this organization, we don't have the worst losing record in NFL history. That happens to be you guys. How you gonna come in here and y'all literally has one of the worst losing records in the history of sports? You have the worst record in the history of sports, and you come in here trying to talk about 28-3 like y'all gonna hurt our feelings. Man, get your clown smoke of the bear looking ass out of here. The fuck is wrong with you? Talking about Brady owns us. Bitch, he owned the whole fucking league. The fuck out of here. Oh, Tom Brady owned you. Bitch, you had him for a year and 2 years. And look where you at now. Right back where you was. Back in Buccaneers land. The fuck out of here. They had a fucking worst. They got the worst losing record in sports history. But want to sit up here and want to bring up 23. Bitch, please. Them ugly ass cream popsicle ass jerseys y'all got out there and want to come in here trying to goddamn clown us. Ugly ass jerseys. Ugly, stale ass jerseys. Probably goddamn stale as your mama coochie. Fuck out of here. Coming here trying to clown the Falcons. Boy, please. Had to go get an old washed up. Well, you had to go get Baker Mayfield because Tom Brady didn't want to goddamn play with your clown ass team. The fuck out of here. You clown ass organization. You was a fucking clown. If it wasn't for Mike Williams, you bitches probably wouldn't even have a fucking offense. Mike Evans. Ugly ass jerseys. You want to come in with them ugly ass, losing ass, stinking ass, y'all motherfucker built the whole fucking section for one guy and then the motherfucker retired and y'all had to take that whole section away because motherfucker didn't want to go back to the game. Want to sit up here and talk clown about us. Man, sit your clown ass down. Smoking the bear looking ass. Hey, fake ass goddamn football fan. Bitch, you probably ain't a football fan. You probably just looking at the goddamn men's. Fuck out of here. That shit ugly as fuck. Look, I like cream. I love cream popsicles. Okay. I like to eat the sherbet. Bitch look like sherbet. Them jerseys look like fucking sherbet. That bullshit on. Want to come in here try to goddamn clown us talking about some 28-3. You got some motherfucking nerd to come in and try to talk about 28-3. Bitch, please. I didn't have to suck a goddamn Tom Brady nutsack off to get into a goddamn Super Bowl. But you got some nerd to get up here and try to talk about the fucking Falcons 28-3. The fuck out of here. Y'all got the right motherfucker today. Y'all got the right motherfucker today. Please come on. Don't get quiet now, you goddamn Buccaneer fan. Because I could go all day on this pathetic ass, shitty ass organization. Got a fake ass Samoan in the middle of the defense. The motherfucker can't even stay on the field, but you want to come over here and talk shit about this Falcon team. Want to talk about some goddamn 28-3. Bitch, please. Y'all got the right motherfucker today. I'm with this shit today. Please, Buccaneers fan, come on, bring this shit. Please bring this shit. Y'all worse than the goddamn skanks. The only reason why Tom Brady went to goddamn Tampa anyway because the motherfucker was wanted by the FBI. Allegedly. That motherfucker was high as hell. That motherfucker was hot as hell. He had to goddamn go to Florida like all the crooks do. Motherfucker go. You know how the motherfucker when they did some bullshit up north, they run their ass straight to Florida. That's exactly what he did. That motherfucker was wanted. That's the only reason why he took his ass to goddamn Florida. He didn't want to be in that piece of shit ass goddamn state. As soon as he retired, he got the fuck on. Want to sit up here and try to clown my team? But please. Look like a goddamn melted ice cream ball. Want to sit up here and talk about my goddamn Falcons. The fuck out of here with this shit. Want to talk about my fucking Falcon team looking like a goddamn melted a cream ice ball with that ugly ass jersey. Ugly ass goddamn team. Motherfucker had Steve Young. That sorry ass organization couldn't do shit with him. It ain't like, oh, they probably like, oh, Mike, y'all had Brett Favre. Yeah, we had Brett Favre, but the motherfucker was a crackhead. So we, in order to save motherfucker life, we traded his ass to goddamn Green Bay. But y'all had a legend in Steve Young, and your sorry ass organization couldn't do shit about it. Fucking shitty ass organization. Want to sit here and talk all this crap about my fucking Falcons. I wish you motherfucker would. Piece of shit ass organization. Your goddamn head coach look like he's fucking, I don't know what that motherfucker look like. He goddamn from the Planet of the Apes or some shit. That motherfucker ain't got no emotions. Is that motherfucker even alive? That motherfucker ain't got no soul. That motherfucker a demon seed. That motherfucker, I ain't never seen that motherfucker smile. That motherfucker sitting on you, touchdown. That motherfucker sitting with a stale ass face. Touchdown. Interception. Touchdown. That motherfucker, you don't even know if that nigga breathing or not. I want to sit up here and talk this shit about my fucking team. Motherfucker, please. That fucking, that oh goddamn, I don't know what the fuck he is. Motherfucker, like what he look like, when he smile, he look like he in pain. Man, get the fuck out of here. That fucked up ass team. Motherfucker out here think they pies at the Caribbean throwing that bullshit ass goddamn cannon. Man, get the fuck out of here. I guess I gotta stop. I guess I gotta stop, y'all. Fucked up ass team. You got something there. Y'all, boy, don't ever disrespect my team. Don't ever disrespect my fucking Falcon team. Especially when you're a fucking Buccaneer, when you got a goddamn thing. Y'all like some goddamn, y'all like goddamn, man, maybe I shouldn't say this. Cause we got some, we got people, we got people that love $40 hollers. That's what they did. They went and got, they rented some ass by bringing Tom Brady in. That's all they did. That's all I'm gonna say right there. Cause I can keep going on these fucking shitty ass Buccaneers. The only reason why he came to that fucking team is because he was wanted. And he was hot. He ain't choose the kind of shit. His goddamn wife was giving him hell, so he ran his ass to Tampa Bay. The fuck out of here. Again, it wasn't even his first trip because he ain't had no way to go. They were the only team that was desperate for his ass. They was the only team that was desperate for him. Man, look, I'm gonna end up getting in trouble. Me Maggie gonna kill me, y'all. So I might. I'm sorry, Christy. Fuck out of here. Look, one thing you don't do in front of me is disrespect my team and think it's just gonna go. I'm just gonna be the nice guy. Nah, especially when you a damn Buccaneer, a damn Tampa Bay Buccaneer. You got some damn nerd to try to do it. Please. All right. So, all you guys, if you're new to the channel, Buccaneers, Steelers fans, I appreciate everybody for joining us, man. Joining me. Look, this is what you get on the Straight Heat. All right, this is the Straight Heat podcast, the Straight Heat series on Mad Mike Sports by way of Atlanta Falcons Nation. Appreciate everybody for, just continuously supporting me, man. Like I said, man, what we do here, we do a lot of crap talking. All right. And if you can't handle a lot of crap talking, this may not be the channel for you. But if you can sit down and have a conversation and withstand the barrage from everybody, not only from myself, but everybody in the chat, we go hard in this chat. So if you can't stand the heat, this is not the channel for you. We're not the fan base for you. But we welcome everybody and everybody's thoughts, everybody's opinions. But just understand, people are going to have a debate here, and that's what we do. So all out of love. It's all love, man. Don't take don't take it too seriously, y'all. We like to have fun. So with that being said, man, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Continue to support your boy here, man, Mike Sports, man. I'm out of here, man. I'm hungry, and I gotta go tell my dad. He hurt my feelings. All right, he hurt my feelings. He told me that I was a cocksucker, and I'm really hurt by that, y'all. That's really mean for your father to say that. So I'm really hurt. Hit that subscribe button. I'm gone. Peace.